Phew, it's gotten pretty late.
じゃあ、私は帰るね。また明日。
Yeah, later. I walked in the opposite direction after watching my sister head toward the women's bamboo dorms. Night had fallen over the course of my investigation. Worse yet, we had horrible results. Every person we talked to, both at school and around the island, commented on Ura being a panty thief. To be perfectly blunt, it was an utter and complete waste of effort. I'm sure I could have collected intel more efficiently if Akari or the others had been with me. No, I guess I do have something to show for it. That was right. I managed to recover Kureha's striped panties before the sun set. The only catch was that they had fallen by the pond and were terribly dirty. I'd feel awful returning them to her in this state. As such, I stopped by I Want You, which just happened to be on my way home. I washed Kureha's panties in the laundry room of the lobby and immediately flung them into the dryer. Mission complete. Now then, what should I do while they dry? Huh? If it isn't the chief. Just as I was about to watch TV to pass the time, the ninja chief suddenly turned up from behind the counter. Are you taking over for Kumakichi again today?
坊ちゃんはちと用事がござってな。しばらく拙者が番頭の当番を任されたでござれ。
Wow.
今のは笑うとこでござるよ。ほら、番頭と当番をかけたわけでして。
Wow.
若者の笑いのツボがわからぬでござるよ。よよよのよ。
By gently dismissing him, the chief squatted down on the ground and started twirling his finger against the floor. The chief must have been pretty old for him to display such old-fashioned mannerisms.
それで、お主は
Alright, I haven't introduced myself yet, have I? My name is Urabe Keisuke.
ケイスケ殿でござるか。拙者のことは、漆黒の忍者、ナイトメアブラックとでも呼ぶでござる。
That sounds like something a delusional teenager would come up with.
はは、冗談でござるよ。まあ、気さくに棟梁とか、お頭とか、イケメンとか呼ぶでござる。
There's no telling what your face is like behind that mask, though.
おーっと、こいつは一本取られたでござるな。
His responses were so dorky and outdated, but he was easy to talk to and being a good sport about it. However, he failed to give me his real name. It made sense, given his ninja garb, that he would prefer to keep his identity a secret.
で、ケイスケ殿は弱みに来たでござるか？
No, I'm actually washing a pair of panties at the moment.
パンツ？
Yes, they are my underclassman's striped panties. I'm washing them for reasons.
しまったん。それって、しましまおパンチュのことでござるか？
Huh? Well, yeah.
彼女に島パンを履かせるとは、ケイスケ殿もなかなか良い趣味をしているでござるな。
Oh, she isn't my girlfriend, but striped panties are the best.
ござるござる。にん。
For whatever reason, the chief and I shared a firm handshake. That was both the moment a new friendship blossomed and when this man was revealed to be a pervert.
お頭。どうしたでござる？
Once the chief and I shook hands, yet another ninja appeared from the dressing room. The color of that scarf. I was pretty sure this was the person that had worked as a clerk with the chief before.
どうやらさっきの娘の忘れ物みたいだ。それは手紙でござろうか。
Letter. Upon a closer look, that ninja had a white envelope in their hand. What's more, it was an incredibly familiar design.
そういえば、ケイスケ殿はあのちびっ子と知り合いでござったな。
Small girl? You mean the blonde in the gym outfit?
そうそう。クレハとか申したか。その子でござる。先ほど弱みに来たのでござるが、どうやら忘れ物をしていった様子。すまぬが届けてくださらぬか。
Ha, again, huh? Between this and her student ID, she had a horrible habit of dropping important things. I thought she was level-headed, but perhaps Kureha was just forgetful, or maybe she wasn't paying attention and dropped it.
ハートの絵札も貼ってある。これは見るからに恋文でござろうな。
恋なんぞにうつつを抜かせる学生さんが羨ましいな。
それでいかがでござる？拙者たちは任務があるゆえ、ここを離れるわけにはいかぬでござるよ。
Sure, I don't mind. I needed to talk to her about something anyway, so I'll make sure she gets it.
かたじけない。
Still, I'm surprised you found this. Don't tell me you regularly sneak into the dressing rooms or something.
クマの坊主じゃあるまいし、そんなことするわけがないだろう。それは客が渡してくれたものだ。
Aren't you all a bunch of lolicons anyway? Don't you just react on instinct sometimes?
だから、俺はロリコンではない。いいか、胸は B 以上、背は160センチ以上が理想だ。小さすぎるのは犯罪だ。
You think so? I would personally prefer at least C's. By the way, Otome-senpai's boobs are the top notch.
お主たちちっぱいの素晴らしさを知らんようでござるな。人生の半分は損してるでござるよ。
いつまでも昔の女を引きずってるんじゃない。そんなだから視野が狭くなるんだ。
カッチーン。今のは聞き捨てならぬでござるな。よかろう。ならば朝までとことん生討論するでござる。お題は成長期。いざ尋常に勝負。
My laundry's done. Can I leave now?
ああ、帰れ。母音好きは母音制に帰れ。
After collecting my striped panties, I was essentially driven out of I Want You by the chief and his ninja colleague. Not good. I needed to do something about those two and fast. With Kureha's recovered striped panties in hand, I walked toward a grove of trees and eventually found myself at the plum dorms. I was only here to return a pair of striped panties and a love letter. Given who I was dealing with, Kureha would likely assume I'd stolen her stuff and possibly attack me on reflex. Perhaps I should just sneak into Kureha's room through her veranda and leave them for her instead. It might cause her some immense emotional trauma if she knew I'd gotten a hold of her precious love letter. Still, this place looks like crap. The wooden pillar supporting the building was incredibly old and decayed, as were the thin, sheet iron roof and postbox. Was Kureha really living here? I guess she had listed this as her address on the committee register. Anyhow, may as well go take a look. I rounded the corner of the building and spotted ivy growing along Kureha's veranda. The ivy had bore tiny gourds, what they sometimes called a green curtain. Being ecological was great and all, but I did take some issue with from a security standpoint. If I peeked in from the side like this, I could get a full view of her room. Crap, this seriously was an investigative sweet spot with a legitimately perfect view. And what an incredible view it was, as Kutan was right in the middle of changing. Kureha posed in front of the mirror as she changed, all while pressing her hands against her breasts and pushing them upward. How unfortunate, Kureha was so petite she didn't have anything to push together. But seriously, Kureha had a super pretty body. Her waistline and thighs were fine as hell, as was her well-toned ass. Although her chest was impressively flat, Kureha's smooth yet thin shoulders looked like they might break if you hugged her. Wait, how long was I going to watch for? If I kept this up, then I'd be no better than Kumakichi. I was no lolicon, as Kureha's immature body did nothing for me. You sure about that? At least it shouldn't have. But what was this throbbing in my chest? It wasn't unusual for a healthy man like myself to get turned on by someone of the opposite sex. Yeah, that's right. I should just be honest with myself and accept that a petite girl like her could be fun for a change. There was more to a girl's allure than her honkin' titties. Alright, this was a rare opportunity, so I may as well enjoy myself a little more. Luckily, she didn't seem to have noticed me. Oh, that outfit. It looked familiar for some reason. Ah! This was bad. Kureha was approaching. Wait, was there any need for me to run? Right, if that outfit truly was the fake Ura's, then shouldn't I question her about it first? Kureha, it's me! Let's have a chat!
Shut up! Go heaven now!
You know Spanish? No good. My body was going numb. Oh, where was this? An unfamiliar ceiling was spread out before me. No, I had seen this worn down ceiling earlier. Right, Kureha found me and hit me with her needles.
やっと目覚めたか。
I turned to face the voice and discovered Kureha was wearing her ninja outfit. She was the fake Ura, but why? This was hopeless. I may be able to hear her, but I couldn't speak. She put a gag on me. Even worse, my limbs were firmly bound with rope. I likely couldn't even move like this.
そう騒ぐな。今猿靴を外してやる。私もお前に聞きたいことがあるしな。外した瞬間、大声を上げたり、不穏な動きを見せたら殺す。いいな。よし、動くなよ。絶対だぞ。
Kureha circled behind me and quietly removed the gag. For the time being, I took in a huge breath of fresh air. Oh, I'm saved. Or maybe not, all things considered.
無駄口はいい。まずは私の質問に答える。
She replied meekly, all while pointing the tip of her bo shuriken at my face. It looked like I was in no position to screw around and weasel my way out of this one.
変態。お前も御三家の一員なのか。私の正体に気づいて様子を伺っていたのか。もしそうなら。
Wait, that's not it at all. I just moved here recently. Weren't you there when the others told us we couldn't help out with the search? I'm not affiliated with the three great families and never have been.
では、どうして私の部屋を覗いていた？
Well, here, I was planning on giving these back to you, just like I promised.
島っぱん？
I also found your letter. I'm pretty sure it's in my pocket.
それなら回収した。パンツもまあ、確かに私のだ。
Right? As a man, I always keep my promises.
では質問を変えよう。どうしてお前がこの手紙を持っている？
I went to the laundromat to wash your underwear and ran into the chief. He found your letter and asked me to return it. It's the truth.
確か葵がお前は嘘をつけない性格とか言っていたな。
Yeah, you can trust me, okay?
いいだろう。確かにお前のような歩く18金が御三家の一員なわけないからな。
Who are you calling a walking AO rating? Am I under arrest for obscenity charges or something?
お前以外に誰がいる？事情はどうあれ、覗きをしていた事実に変わりはないんだからな。
Gah, when you put it that way, I can't argue.
どうしてよりにもよってこんな変態に正体がバレてしまうんだ。計画が台無しじゃないか。
Kureha saw how I reacted and, with a quiet sigh, cut the cord with her bow shuriken. Good, now we could have a proper conversation. I was still stuck with the pervert label though. It's probably safe to assume you're the fake Ura, right?
ああ、今さら言い逃れするつもりはない。私は土蜘蛛の生き残りで、訳あって怪盗ウラを名乗っている。
Reasons? What reasons?
お前に教える義理はない。それより、お前をこれからどうするか決めよう。好みの死に方はあるか？私としては、鼻と口にわさびを詰め込んでの悶絶死がおすすめだ。
That's not exactly an ideal way to go. Either way, you've got no chance with me. If you think otherwise, then now we will have a few choice words for you. Besides, this is a small island. There are a limited number of places to hide a corpse. Could someone with as few friends as you even put together an alibi?
確かに厄介事が多すぎるな。今は御三家も目を光らせているし。
Right? So why don't we talk this out peacefully? It might even be possible that we could work together.
協力だと？
Yeah, I'm not from the three great families. Depending on what you have to say, I might be able to work with you. As far as I can tell, you don't seem to have any allies. Wouldn't it be more convenient to add an underling or two instead of piling more onto your plate, my little loner? I went out of my way to tease her, but she didn't seem the least bit fazed. In fact, it looked like she was sorting out her current predicament in her head. Then, she slowly lifted her head.
いいだろう、話してやる。だが、もしも私の話を聞いて首を横に振るようなら、お前にはしばらくこの部屋にいてもらう。
Kidnapping her? Fine, as long as you feed me every now and again, you can do whatever you want.
泣きべそを書くかと思ったが、意外と少年が座っているんだな。では聞かせてやろう。なぜ私が怪盗ウラを名乗っているのか。すべての始まりは10年前だ。委員会での説明にもあったように、御三家と土蜘蛛とで大きな戦いがあってな。敗れた土蜘蛛の残党は、戦いの後、逃亡生活を余儀なくされた。そして5年前、唯一の肉親だった父さんは、ある日突然行方不明になり、私は一人きりになってしまった。
Why did your old man go missing?
おそらく借金の肩にマグロ漁船か、地下賭博場に連れて行かれたのだろう。私たちには、どうしてもまとまった金が必要でな。その筋の奴らから莫大な借金をしていたんだ。私はその借金を返して父さんを助けたい。だから秘宝を狙っているんだ。
Dabbed her. It was a simple enough reason to go after the mystic treasures. Each treasure had its own unique power, and depending on how they were used, you could easily make bank off of one. Simply selling them to the highest bidder could yield a hefty sum. Have you lost all contact with your old man?
いや、3年前から私宛てに手紙が届くようになった。
That was a long time ago.
手紙の内容は怪盗ウラの活躍が書かれたもので、そこにはまとまった金も同封されていた。3年前はちょうどウラが再び活動を始めた時期でな。世間でもよくウラの活躍が取り沙汰されていた。手紙に書かれたことは、そういった噂話を裏付けるようなものばかりで、ウラが盗みを働いた現場の写真も添えられていた。それを見て私は気がついた。父さんが怪盗ウラを名乗り、盗み出した秘宝を売りさばいて金を工面しているのだと。 その真偽を確かめるため、私は宮島の秘宝を狙う内容の予告状を御三家に送りつけた。そうすれば御三家はウラを見つけ出そうと躍起になり、ウラも偽物を成敗しようと島に姿を現すだろう。
I see. That's why you adopted his name and came to this island?
ああ、ウラが本当に父さんなら、二人して秘宝を奪い、借金を返して大団円、そう思っていたんだが。
Kureha then opened one of her dresser drawers and took out an old-looking comb. It was the one, the fake Kura, that Kureha had shown me.
これは母さんの形見の櫛だ。ウラが父さんならこれに反応しないわけがない。だが昨日会った本物の怪盗ウラは見覚えがないと言っていた。
Meaning Phantom Thief Ura wasn't your old man.
そういうことだ。私もバカじゃない。ウラが父さんではない可能性も考慮して作戦を練ってきた。このまま引き続き宮島の秘宝を狙い、それを使って借金を返す。お前に正体がバレた以外に何も問題はない。問題はないが、ウラが父さんじゃないと分かって少し寂しかったかな。
Kureha.
最後のは気にするな。忘れろ。
Kureha added and quickly darted her eyes away. Her shoulders hung heavily and she was missing her usual spark. It made sense that she would be upset. Just when she thought she had found a clue about her father, it turned out to be a mere misconception. The amount of expectation she had must have led to an even greater shock. A part of me felt bad for Kureha for jumping to conclusions, but people often resorted to drastic measures when driven into a corner. That just showed how precious Kureha's old man was to her.
これで私の話は終わりだ。
Just one. Why did you need so much money? If not for that debt, you'd still be on the run, right? Why did you assume the risk?
そこまで知る必要はない。好きに想像すればいい。
I see. I'll do just that then. It looked like she wasn't going to let me pry too deeply, which was only natural given her distrust in me.
それで協力する気があるのかないのか、どっちだ？
Let me see. There was no way to fully piece everything together without knowing the reason for her debt. I had no clue why her father had sent a letter designed to look like it had come straight from Ura either. Perhaps I should stick close to Kureha and extract as much information as possible. Something told me the only way to fundamentally resolve the situation was to fix Kureha's problems. Having this happen repeatedly would be problematic for me. I could decide whether or not to capture Kureha once her entire situation was made clear. Got it. I'll help you for the time being.
それはよく考えて出した答えか。
Of course. From what I've heard, your intentions don't seem at all malicious. If this is to save your father, then I'll work with you. Feels like it'd be helping someone when they need it most.
私が嘘をついているとは思わないのか？
I don't. I can tell by the look in your eyes. You had a really serious look in your eyes when talking about your old man. Nobody could be lying with eyes like that.
お前がそう思うならそうなんだろう。お前ん中ではな。
Kureha replied and proceeded to stare me down. Slowly, yet surely, her cheeks tinted a light shade of pink, and she went quiet. Could she be feeling shy?
協力したいなら好きにしろ。だが礼は言わないぞ。それにお前を信頼したわけでもない。24時間体制で監視も行う。今後しばらくは自由な時間はないと思え。
What if I were to betray you and run away?
その時は下着泥と覗き、それと痴漢と暴行の罪で警察に突き出してやる。死なばもろともだ。
You don't need to go that far. I could never face my ancestors in the afterlife if the world-renowned phantom thief Ura were arrested for such mundane reasons. Are you really okay with that, though?
ん？どういう意味だ？
Oh, if you don't get it, then that's fine. Even if she didn't actually mean it, she could have forced my obedience by threatening Aoi's life if I were to run away. Every story I'd ever heard painted the Tsuchigumo as a cold-hearted bunch beyond compare, but Kureha appeared to be different, naive, or perhaps inexperienced. For that matter, she was targeting the mystic treasures to repay her father's debt. The idea of using the mystic treasures to rebuild the Tsuchigumo didn't seem to have crossed her mind. If I were to act now, maybe there was still time. I could reform Kureha and send her down the right path. Alright, looks like we have a general plan in place. Urabe Keisuke taking a cool exit.
待て、一体どこに行くつもりだ？
Like I said, going back to my place. Don't worry, I won't reveal your identity to anyone.
バカかお前は。お前は24時間監視すると言っただろ。私とお前は昼も夜もずっと一緒だ。もう話さない。
Badump.
バカ！無駄にときめくな。
Haha, sorry. You're really planning to stay glued to me the whole time, though? Aoi will get suspicious if my room stays empty for too long.
それはそうだが、今日は絶対に返さないぞ。お前と一緒にいる。お互いの立場を確認するためにも、初めての夜は大切にしたいからな。
You mean that just like you said it, don't you?
何かおかしなこと言ったか？
No, if you don't get it, then that's fine. One delightful, embarrassing word after another that any man would love to hear at least once had come out of her mouth. However, given the circumstances, I wasn't entirely pleased. If we were lovers, on the other hand... Lovers? That's right. To get to the point, we'll need a reason for why we'll be spending so much time together going forward.
まあな。
In that case, why don't we tell people we are dating? Nobody will suspect a thing, even if we are together all day long.
バカな！お前と噂になるとでも言うのか！
Exactly. Oh, but it's not like we'll really be lying. It is true that we'll be together in our search for the mystic treasures. Also, there's no reason for you to act all mushy. Everyone around us will make their own assumptions so long as we are together.
つまり、恋人のふりをしていればいいということか。
Correct. When everyone else starts questioning us, let's just back each other up.
待て、そういえばお前、嘘をつけない性格のはずだろ。そんな作戦で大丈夫か？
I'll fine B. There may be problems, but that's exactly why I'm suggesting we help each other. If you don't do a good job of backing me up, I could blurt out that you're the fake Ura on accident.
本当に厄介なやつに正体がバレたものだ。だが、背に腹は変えられないか。確かに恋人のふりをした方が何かと都合がいいしな。
Then...
ああ、お前の案で行くことにする。
Yay!
なんで嬉しそうなんだ。言っておくが、不利だけだからな。変な勘違いするなよ。
Nah, I know. Still, I'm sorry to make you go through with this when it seems like you already got someone you like.
好きなやつ？何の話だ？
You wrote a love letter, didn't you? Weren't you planning to give that to someone?
ああ、あれは違うぞ。あれは裏へ宛てた手紙だ。
A letter for Ura?
そうだ。お前に語ったような内容があの手紙には書かれている。あいつが本物なら、事情を知ればきっと私に協力してくれる。裏は弱いやつの味方だからな。
An ally of the weak.
お前裏を信じていないな。裏はすごく頼りになるんだぞ。昨日だって危ないところを助けてくれた。裏はみんなのヒーローなんだ。ああ、早く会えないかな。
Just then, for some reason, her voice became jubilant and her eyes sparkled. This was way too out of character for her. Come to think of it, she had been doing nothing but singing Ura's praises ever since this afternoon. That made me wonder. She may not have been aware of it, but perhaps she really was in love with Ura. If I were to reveal my identity to her now, I might win her over with relative ease. Say, Kureha. Actually, I am Phantom Thief Ura. Wait, I'm telling you the truth? No, really, it's true. I really am Phantom Thief Ura. Bling bling. Are you asking me not to breathe all of the air on Earth? Oh boy, it looked like she didn't believe a word I'd said. Well, fine. In that case, I would just have to watch for an opening, then appear in front of her, dressed as Ura. As long as I could find an opening, that is. Let's finish catching up tomorrow. It's late, so let's get some sleep. There wasn't much I could do if she wouldn't let me go home. Better just sleep in Kureha's room. After giving it some thought, I rarely got the chance to sleep in a girl's room. This was a great opportunity, so I may as well enjoy it. Ehehe, cool meows tatami mat, pretty warm. Oh, don't worry, I won't ask you to share your futon. I'll just sleep on the floor. Huh? With that remark, Kureha took the rope hanging from the wall and wrapped it around my entire body. Huh? What was with this master stuff? You're into that sort of stuff, Ku-chan? While I was off daydreaming. What the? Kureha ran the rope over the beam and suspended my bound frame in midair. She pulled this off like a professional assassin. This doesn't work. There's no way I can sleep like this. I can't even go to the bathroom. I'll hold it, ma'am. When I saw her retrieving the spitting needles from her pocket, I bowed my head at max speed. Unbelievable. Was I going to spend the rest of my life like this? Then again, living under one roof with a cute girl like Kureha could be pretty appealing. How nice! This really kicks the mood up a notch. I'm fine with that, as long as I get to be by your side. Me dancing around like a ringworm hoisted up in the air by a beam, and Kureha conscientiously playing off my jokes. This back and forth ended up carrying on into the early hours of the morning.